Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
So every time I come out with my little OM system OM5, I think I have got the lens cap here, it's just falling off. Every time I come out with this, I always say something along the lines of, "Hi everyone, today I'm just out with my little OM system OM5." And I got a comment recently from a gentleman, I can't remember the name, I am sorry, but it was a really good comment. And I think he just said, how come you always sort of like, undermine the OM5? It's a brilliant camera, by saying I'm only out with the OM5. And to be fair, I thought it was a really good comment, a really good question. So thank you for that. And I suppose I just wanted to address it because it's not what I mean. When I'm saying, I'm just out with the OM5, I don't mean like I've left my best camera at home. All I mean is like it's small, it's portable, no tripod, no faff. It feels like I'm actually paying it a compliment. And yeah, I just want to make sure that I get that across because I really do like this camera. So we're hiking up a Wainwright called, he's just there, look, Pike or Blisco. And for some reason, I always think, I've been up here 2 times before, but I think this is the first time I'll be going up as part of my little Wainwright series here. But yeah, I always think this particular hike, this route starts from up there near a Bleetan, you go up and round, whereas it doesn't. I've made the same mistake, probably for the 3rd time in a row. See the sort of little wooded section there? As per Wainwright's guide anyway, you kind of skirt past the left-hand side of that little gill there, and it's kind of like a direct route up. Amongst many other things, I'm sure I'll get into in this video, one thing that I love about Pike or Blisco, and Wainwright does mention this, is that you can see him from the beginning of the hike. In fact, his route, I'm sort of cheating a little bit to be honest, his route that he suggests, I mean, there's 2 or 3, but the main one I suppose is from down there near sort of Dungeon Gill. So the idea is you kind of walk up this road rather than driving, but I'm being a little bit lazy. This is the best part of it anyway. But yeah, I just love the fact that you can see the beautiful shape of the peak of Pike or Blisco there from the very beginning. Really sort of prominent fell in this area around sort of the Langdale Valley. And look, we got the Langdale Pikes up there, Bow Fell, Crinkle Crags, and it is a beautiful, beautiful day. So here we go. This is kind of the start of the proper fell path, I suppose, now that we've just come off that little bit of road. Wow, yeah, so this is Red Acre Gill down here. Pretty impressive actually, and I think we sort of follow this up on this route for a small while. Maybe for most of the route actually, until we start getting a little bit higher up. And look, there's that, maybe see it, that little red car that we walked past. Oh man, that was only like 6 or 7 minutes ago. When you're hiking sometimes and you've just got your head down, it's mad how soon you start ascending, how quickly you go and how much ground you make. Like that road looks ages away to me already, it's brilliant. I'll tell you what a beautiful day. So, elephant in the room, I suppose. The hat, the woolly hat. It's quite chilly today. It's about, this morning it was 6 or 7 degrees. I think it's about 8 or 9 degrees now, but it's obviously because we're going up as well. It's going to get slightly cooler, and it's not forecast to get into double digits all day. It feels a bit warmer than that, I'd probably say at the minute, to be honest. I guess it's because I'm hiking, but I love it. And you know what, I was just thinking about saying this, and I feel like I've maybe said this now 3 or 4 years in a row on this channel. It's becoming an annual trend where I say, I love this time of year. I love it when summer starts drawing to a close, the children have gone back to school and everything starts quietening down, the bracken starts dying away, the temperature drops like we've just been saying, and oh man, I've enjoyed summer, I always do. and I certainly haven't felt sick of it or anything like that. I think I'm over that now. I always find something positive to go out and enjoy, to go out and photograph, but I'm just a winter head. That's what, like I say, I'm a winter head. So knowing that autumn and winter and spring, to be fair, is all to come, just excites me so much. Oh man, I feel like I've got a million photographs on my computer of the Langdale Pikes and of pretty much this particular shot, but I'm going to grab another one of it anyway because I just love it. Today, I mean, it's morning, it's actually quite early for me. I think it's about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So the light's not ideal. You know, this is a relatively short hike, so it's not going to get ideal, but I just love that little section there, see, where we've got the mood and drama there, we've got the light hitting the side of the Pikes, a little bit of blue sky even, and yeah, just those few things mixed together for me. It's just worth taking it. So what am I in out here? Not even fully zoomed in, look, about 45mm, and aperture priority, f5.6, and we're on 1/800th of a second. Yeah, just something like that, and I just love it. I love the clouds. I love, yeah, that kind of section of the Langdale Pikes as a subject, and the kind of dark area down in the foreground that cuts across the image feels quite nice as well. And yeah, all in all, just does something for me, that. So I've just come off piste a little bit. You can maybe see the track there. Some people, it's getting a little bit busy, which is fine. Yeah, you know, but you know, when it's just like one path, you kind of crisscross people all the time. Oh, I might just have a bit of food here. But yeah, I was chatting to one of the lads. That group there is lads from the army, and I think they're just doing a bit of training, a bit of map reading and stuff. It's really cool to see. And the guide or whatever at the front, the leader, he's sort of like explaining to them every few steps, really, like certain points on the map, yeah, certain subjects, things like that. It's really cool. It's cool to see. And yeah, I'm gonna have a drink and something to eat. What a spot for it as well. Get a look. Langdale Pikes, they are obviously going to be a very familiar sight all day. These, by the way, absolute class. Just a recent find. Lancashire Crisps, simply spuds, no added salt. They're just properly plain crisps. You know, in this country everyone calls ready salted crisps plain crisps, don't they? But properly plain. And I've always loved, you know, you get like salt and shake crisps and like not putting the salt on them, but I found these unreal. Absolute sad existence this guy must have. Oh dear. That banana's seen better days, hasn't it? It'll do the job. So we're actually, look at this, amazingly, we're not too far from the top already, and that's because, I'll show you here, look. Like I said before, I cheated. We can see that nice bit of light down there in the valley. Actually, not even this little section of buildings here, over there, that's where the hike should have started from, but I've driven that road round, absolute lazy geezer, and come up in the middle just below Side Pike there and parked, and then just scooted up. I'm cheating. It feels nice, to be honest. It's nice to get such incredible views with such little effort, you know. I forgot to mention, I got this image as well, which is kind of just behind me now, the scene. Side Pike down in the foreground, and then I think we've got like Fairfield and Dove Crag right off in the background as well. And again, similar to the first shot of the Langdale Pikes, just nice little bit of cloud, some nice bits and bobs of light and shadow as well. Oh, it gets quickly quite chilly. You start feeling the cold when you stop still. Now, as we move on, I'll get myself back to the path in a second. I would love to say another massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So if you've never heard of Squarespace, they are an all-in-one platform that you can use to build your own website, which is exactly what I did. My own website is through Squarespace, and the best thing about it for me is that it's so easy. They've got loads of wonderful looking templates that you can use. You add a few images, a few bits of text, and within a couple of hours, honestly, you will have a website up and running. And if, like me, you'd like to sell things for your Squarespace website, you could do that as well. They've got plenty of e-commerce packages, and I use it to sell prints and ebooks. My 2025 calendar is still available to pre-order as well if you'd like to support the channel, and I wouldn't be able to run my business without it. And finally, Squarespace have got fantastic award-winning customer service. So if you're finding it a little bit tricky, even though it is very easy, you can just get in touch with them and they will be there to give you a helping hand. So if you'd like to give them a go, head over to squarespace.com/Henry Turner and get yourself a 14-day free trial. There'll also be a link in the video description. And if you like your free trial, make sure to use the offer code Henry Turner at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase. Oh look, there's still a few sort of bits and bobs of heather around and about. It's no secret it's proper dying off now. No, you know, a lot of the colours kind of missing. It's going that sort of, I don't know, pale brown colour almost. But like I always say, when it comes to heather, you only need one bunch, one small bunch that you can get down close to with the wide angle lens. So if I find something, I'll perhaps try and have a go at using it as a, you know, a little bit of foreground interest in one of the shots. If it's worth doing, I don't know. I mean, I think it's this shot actually, yeah, from about 3 weeks ago that was my favourite from that particular adventure. And I was quite happy with that. That, you know, I felt like that did me. That will do me for heather season. I was really pleased with how that image came out. Some nice like that, incidentally, was on this fell that you no doubt cannot see. Lingmore Fell, side Pike, the little lump down there, and then it goes round into Lingmore Fell. You can maybe even see the sort of heather on that fell. And Ling is, I think it's an old Norse word for heather. In fact, if there's any Norwegians watching, please let me know if this is true, but I think that the word for heather in Norwegian, modern day Norwegian, is like ling. I think it might just be spelt with a Y, L-Y-N-G. And I just love that, you know, just history in a name, etymology. That's like Lingmore, I guess, from when the Vikings were here. That's, you know, they've named that fell and it's stuck like that. Perhaps I'm just making that up. I've got a feeling it might also be. I always get Old Norse and Old English completely mixed up. But I think that's the case. And if you say ling for heather in modern day Norwegian, then it has to be, doesn't it? I just think that's cool. A little story from a hill from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Anyway, onwards. So you can maybe see our mates from the army, little blue bags, just here somewhere. And I think Wainwright mentions that once you get right near the top, it kind of forks off into two different routes. And if you go sort of left and swing round, it's a lot more of a gentle final ascent. Whereas I think it's where they are. It's a bit more difficult, a bit scrambly, a few little areas that are almost like rock climbing. So yeah, I think I'm going to head up that route because, I mean, it's been such a short hike. I just fancy a little bit of a challenge. I don't know why. I feel as if Wainwright might actually mean even something over here. He says it's a bit more of a sporting ascent to the top, to the cairn. But either way, it must be that section, man. It looks actually quite intimidating from here. And yeah, it'll give me a little bit of something to think about as we near the summit. Oh man, look at some of these boulders here. They're just absolutely incredibly huge. Just to think that probably at one point in time, they may be cracked away from this summit area here of rock, of cliff face, and just tumbled down, and you know, God knows how many are further down there. That would be a sight to see, wouldn't it? That absolute beast. It's the size of a car, man. Just flying down the hill. You'd be quickly diving out of the way, wouldn't you? Right, we are, I think, look at it. It just looks like a mini gill or something. But at the same time, I don't want to underestimate it. Like I said before, it does look quite intimidating. Oh yeah, see, look at this now. It's got these like wet patches. It's going to be really slippy. So yeah, I want to take this seriously. I mean, look at that kind of sludge. It's asking for you to have a little slide away, innit? All right, look at this, man. This is class. I actually do. I love this sort of stuff, like rock scrambling, and yeah, same as say, what else? Like mountain biking. It's the sort of thing that I don't know. I guess I've always thought that I'd be like really into, but I've just never bothered going to a club or giving it a proper try or anything. Just really been on like climbing walls and stuff. Well, yeah, look at this. This is epic, is it not? As long as we don't slip on any of this sludge. Oh, it just excites me. Look at that. Nice little bit there to grab onto. There's your dinner. And then just thinking about where I'm going to put my feet. And then we're up. 3 points of contact. I don't know if it is that, you know, because then look, we've just got like a normal path. But then at the same time, Wainwright doesn't necessarily say that it isn't a proper path. He just says it's a bit more of a tricky route if you fancy it. Someone let me know, maybe, is this what Wainwright's referring to? It's quite a popular fell, isn't it, Pike Blisco? So a lot of yous may have been up. Anyway, let me spin yous. What have we got here? Where are we at? It's got to be Windermere, hasn't it? Yeah, of course it is. We're not far enough for it to be Coniston. Windermere. We could see almost right out to Morecambe Bay around the corner. Fantastic. Lingmore Fell down there again. That's where I was, exactly where them sort of patches of light are down there on Lingmore, only about 3 weeks ago. Oh, down into the Langdale Valley there, beautiful. Pikes. Oh, look, we could see right back to, I think it's Skiddaw or Blencathra. I don't get them mixed up. It's just I can't really see which one it is, but that's ages away, man. It's like north of Keswick. Fantastic. Right, let's continue up this little stairway to heaven. Oh, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you that decided to sign up on my Ko-fi page, like the membership. I really appreciate it. I know it's the sort of thing that isn't for everyone. And I appreciate the comments of people saying that it isn't for them as well, you know. That's fine. It doesn't offend me or anything like that. I understand. And like I said in that particular video, I appreciate that you just watch these YouTube videos and stuff. It's fine. But yeah, for those of you that have signed up, thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying the few bits and bobs of extra content. And yeah, if you want to go and take a look, you haven't heard of it or you haven't signed up, there'll be a link down in the description where you can see what the extra content is and what it's all about. And you know, take it or leave it. I don't expect anything from anyone, but cheers. Oh yes, look at that. I think I'm going to get a shot here, man. I just love all these boulders. The light is horrendous. It's probably, in fact, I don't know if I will. I'll show you the problem. I'll show you, for those of you that, you know, are really into composition and stuff. I think what troubles me here is the fact that this is so big and this is actually so small because obviously it's so much further away. And yeah, that is Skiddaw off in the background there. And then, yeah, to me, the Langdale Pikes here, this little ridge line, this little section of incredible rock faces there is so epic. But because we're so up close and personal with all these boulders and yeah, these cliffs right here on the top of Pike Blisco, I don't know, it all kind of gets lost and there's no balance between the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Not to say that that's my only choice of composition, that it has to be this on the left and everything in the distance on the right, but at the minute, yeah, I don't really know what else I would do. But I'm going to keep my eyes peeled because I love all of these rocks and the textures and the colour of it, man. It's fantastic. I have to say, especially if you're going to park where I did at the bottom of Side Pike or maybe even down on the National Trust car park at Blee Tarn. See if I can show you. I never know if you can see these sorts of things, but in the shade down there in the valley, maybe we'll see a little white cottage. There's a car park just near that, and I would suggest this Pike Blisco was a really good beginner hike, Lakeland Fell hike. Wainwright, you know, it's like I say, especially if you're only hiking from there, It's short, it is steep in places. You could choose them more challenging bits like you've seen, but you kind of get the best of everything what all of the fells have to offer in quite a short package, let's say, you know, and the views are still absolutely incredible and still a fantastic fell to come up to take photographs, like they all are, to be fair. See, this feels a little bit better. Just again, alluding to what I was talking to about before about the sort of, the balance was feeling a bit off. Yeah, this, I don't know, it just feels like I might be able to get the balance right here by, it ends up just being like layers. And then I'll sort of show you, because foreground perspective I think is so important. Let's look at like here, like the highest point of the Langdale Pikes. It's almost level with what we've got right in front of us, and then it's like level all the way across. Whereas if I was to get low down, look, that just becomes way too prominent in the composition. So it's almost like I need to get a little bit higher, make sure that this stuff in front of me doesn't kind of undermine the Langdale Pikes. There we go. See, look, everything's the same height then, and then I'd maybe try something in a portrait orientation. I'm going to give this a go actually with the wide angle lens, because I love some of the textures and scars in this foreground rock. I'm just going to try it with the 12mm to start with, just to see if I actually need the wide angle lens, because 12mm, 24mm full frame equivalent, you know yourselves, it's fairly wide anyway, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's going to be all right in portrait. I'm just going to change the aspect ratio to a 4:3. I quite like that in a portrait. It's all right. Feels like a bit of a throwaway photograph, but I don't mind them, because one thing that I love about photography, about being out, is, well, throwaway shots. Not always feeling like you've got to take absolute bangers all the time that are going to, you know, take over the world because the light's so beautiful, the subject's so amazing. I enjoy just the process of composition. So in that sense, that does do it for me. Now to find the path. There we go. So we were, around about here, and you can see now we are slowly but surely approaching the summit of Pike Blisco. I'm looking forward to what awaits us from the other side. We should be looking back to the Scafell range and some of the bigger mountains. So yeah, onwards. Oh. Oh, it's probably going to look terrible on your camera here, but we've just got this really nice little view of, I think, a couple of the Coniston Fells there. I think it's a really nice ridge line. It leads round into Swirl How there, I think. Is that Great Cars as well? Oh, I don't know, I was just walking through like that, look, through the little gap. It looks amazing. And then, yeah, look, further around to the rest of the Coniston Fells as well. That is just beautiful. I think I've said this plenty of times, but so far, and I think this kind of opinion will probably remain right up until the end, but yeah, the Southern Fells have been my favourite section of Wainwright's Fells, so far over the years. And I mean, it's all the closest area really to where I grew up, and a lot of the fells are so familiar to me because they've always been close to home and stuff like that. Maybe it's that, you know, a little bit of sentiment as well, but either way, it is just a beautiful area of Lakeland. Oh, there we go, top of Pike Blisco. I won't yell my head off because them lads are just over there enjoying a nice little chill on the summit, but yeah, absolutely beautiful, man. And this is what I was talking about on the way up. We get these incredible views here back towards some of the bigger fells, and this is a really good ridge route as well. I've done it once with one of my best friends actually, and you can sort of continue along to like Crinkle Crags up round here and then off to Bowfell, and you could maybe come back down this way and round back into the Langdale Valley. But yeah, I went up Crinkle Crags, I can't actually remember when, a good few months ago now, and came up from a different route, actually down, started from like Hardknot Pass really, so I sort of came up and over this way, and yeah, you can see all the crinkles up there. It was brilliant. But yeah, this is nice. Wow, look at that, how epic is that? Coniston Range there, Coniston Fells, and there's just a big absolute lump of rock there. It's beautiful. Oh look, just through that little V there, right at the bottom of the V, just a slither of the waters of beautiful Morecambe Bay. Now I was going to do a loop and go up, maybe up and over Crinkle Crags and back down or something like that, or you know, I always like doing a bit of a loop if I can, but I'm going to have to go down the same way because I'll show you now actually. Look at this. What is wrong with me and gear, man? I'm either really irresponsible or just very unlucky. Probably a mixture of both. But look, I've lost the little rubber section from the eyepiece, the kind of viewfinder, you know, to sort of rest your eye on. Friggin' hell, and it was definitely there when I set off. I sort of half remember looking at it thinking, I'm going to lose that. Looks a bit loose, which would suggest that it's more to do with my stupidity than being unlucky. But I mean, the only other shot that I took was the first image. That was the last time I saw it. So I'm hoping that as I maybe pulled it out of the hip pack, the kind of little bit of rubber dropped off there. But so look, I was just trying to use this photograph that I took the first image, like I was saying, as a reference point as to where I took the image from. And look, I think I found it there. And then I had a little look down, and there is a little bit of dinner down there for you. We have found the little rubber bit for the viewfinder. Yes. Oh man, this has felt really quick, but also very enjoyable and just proper chilled out. And a massive thank you to all my Ko-fi members. This is the first one where all your names are going to be up on the screen. Cheers, honestly, so much for your support. I love chatting to you over there. And yeah, if you'd like to see me up taking photographs up another Wainwright, there'll be a video up on the screen now. And thank you all so much for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next adventure and see if I find my little rubber eyepiece thing here. Out!